Mr. Chairman, if I could just go time, we've got about 80 bills left.
Well,
And hopefully we can move forward with some dispatch.
Apologize for.
sorry, it was complicated, sir. Senate Bill 686 is a substitute. This has to do with marijuana decriminalization, and I've simplified it for the committee. The original bill had 7 provisions. This just has 2. It lessens the penalty for possession of marijuana from a criminal offense to a civil penalty of $100.
Hang on a second. Senator Norment moves. Senator McDougall seconds the adoption of substitute. All in favor of adoption of substitute, signify by saying aye. All opposed. The substitute before us. Go ahead.
Thank you. So as I said, there are just 2 changes. One, reducing the penalty to a civil fine. Secondly, no longer suspending driver's license for adult users, adult defendants under a civil penalty. It would no longer be a criminal penalty. The law otherwise would remain the same. And to be brief, the state is spending $67 million a year enforcing our marijuana laws. We have higher marijuana usage rates than Nebraska and Mississippi, with both of which decriminalized along with 17 other states. You'll hear about the racial disparity, but I believe that we've legislated fear of a plant into our criminal code, and I think that criminal prosecution has not been an effective deterrent to these otherwise law-abiding citizens. The General Assembly in 1979 issued a report saying that law enforcement officers have not had a significant impact, or law enforcement efforts have not had a significant impact on the use of marijuana. 35 years later, I contend we're in the same place. So just to sum up, it's a decriminalization bill to no longer make criminals out of nonviolent marijuana users. It does not legalize marijuana. It does not regulate marijuana. It does not encourage marijuana usage. And it leaves the same penalties in place for minors. Minors would still lose their driver's license. And there are a few folks who wanted to briefly speak to the bill.
All right, we've got a long line. This is about as simple a bill as we're going to see. Everybody knows what it does. We're going to limit discussion on this bill to 5 minutes per side. So if you step up, keep in mind there's a long line behind you, and everybody is very familiar with this issue. So let's hear from those in support of the bill first. Time is starting now.
Good afternoon. I'm Ed McCann, Policy Director of Virginia NORML. Our goal is not to make cannabis more widespread. It's already very widespread. However, 2,000 children in Virginia are arrested every year as young as 11 years old, and we don't think they should be put into the criminal justice system for this. The American Academy of Pediatrics this week released a statement strongly supporting decriminalization. Some of you may think that Virginia is not ready. Virginia is ready. A poll was released, several polls recently, one 60% Virginia support this, another 71%, all demographics, all areas of the state. Our message to kids, do not use cannabis. It's not for you, it can harm you, it's not risk-free. If your children were caught with cannabis, you don't want them going through the criminal justice system. Senator Stewart, I believe you had an issue that this does not conflict with federal law, and I would urge Senators Stanley and Garrett to err on the side of freedom on this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, you may want to be ready to step up because the time is running.
Good afternoon. I'm Shirley Jenwright. I'm president of the Fairfax County NAACP. I would like to thank you for the opportunity to address you, and I'm speaking on behalf of the Virginia State Conference of the NAACP. We want to thank Senator Ebbin for recognizing the disparity and economic impact marijuana arrest and incarceration has had on the minority community, and for introducing a bill that would fix the problem that so many of our legislators have ignored or refused to address. Government health surveys consistently find that young whites use drugs higher rates than young blacks. Yet, according to the FBI uniform crime data, police arrest young blacks at double, triple, and even quadruple the rate of young whites. In Virginia, blacks are arrested for possession at 3 to 4 times the rate of whites. This has resulted in a tremendous economic impact on the black community. We would like to be clear that the NAACP does not support the legalization of marijuana for recreational use. We discourage illegal drug use of any type and recognize that addiction is a chronic medical illness that is treatable. This bill does not legalize marijuana. It is trying to correct something that is not working. As Senator Ebbin has stated, the prohibition of marijuana has clearly failed. Making criminals out of otherwise law-abiding citizens is a waste of law enforcement time and taxpayers' money. These otherwise law-abiding citizens are once receiving a drug felony charge, which precludes them from getting federal assistance, such as grants for further education.
And you know that there's a long line of people who are dying to have their opinions heard too, and I really want to hear from you, but I suspect they want to be heard too.
Okay, and bottom line is to let you know that we do support the Senate Bill 686, and our biggest concern is the disparity of the incarceration of the minorities.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Frank Knack with the ACLU of Virginia, we're in support of this legislation. In addition to the liberty and financial issues that were discussed, I just want to point out there are 109 collateral consequences right now to a marijuana conviction. That affects your ability to get employment, to get housing, and all of these issues, and so we think this is something that needs to be addressed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, distinguished senators. My name is Senior Master Sergeant Frederick Cassidy. I'm a retired Senior Master Sergeant, 31 years in the Air Force. The reason I'm here today is because I would like to make it a case for PTSD soldiers who have returned from Iraq and Afghanistan. Hundreds of them are walking around our streets and they're self-medicating because they can't get proper kind of prescriptions through the VA or other medical sources. And to treat them as a criminal for possession of a small amount is morally indefensible, and they fought for our freedom. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Payne, step up.
Good afternoon. My name is Paula Klockner. I am from Chile. I'm an accountant, a homeowner, mother of two. I came here at the age of 6 on a diplomatic visa, never been here illegally in the United States. In college, I received a misdemeanor possession charge for 0.5 grams of marijuana. I received unsupervised probation and thought that was the end of it. 6 years later, I went to Chile to visit my mother. When I returned to the United States, I was stripped of my green card and put into detention for the misdemeanor possession charge. I was shackled for 6 hours and transported to Hampton Roads Regional Jail, where I spent 36 days incarcerated. The amount of helplessness, cold fear, and sadness I felt there was unimaginable. My story doesn't end there. Because of this horrible experience, I developed fibromyalgia, which is a chronic, widespread condition that causes widespread pain in my arms and legs. Many of you may think that Senate Bill 686 may not be an important change in our laws, but for me this change would have made a significant impact of my life. Thank you for considering Senate Bill 686.
Thank you very much. We are out of time, but what I'm going to ask, don't get mad. What I'm going to ask is that you step up, say your name and organization if you have one, and whether you support or oppose the bill. We're just getting supporters right now. Just real quick, run straight through.
Scott Price, I'm here representing the Alliance for Progressive Values. On behalf of our membership, we ask you to support this bill.
Thank you very much.
Roy Sherrill, wearing 2 hats. I've been authorized to state the support of the Virginia Libertarian Party, the state's 3rd largest, for this bill. And of course, Virginians Against Drug Violence is also in favor.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Step up.
Thank you. My name is Martha Brissett. I do not have an organization.
Thank you.
My
You
mother,
support the bill?
I do support it
Thank you.
because my son has lost 4 jobs because of misdemeanor record.
Thank you.
4 job offers.
Step up.
My name is Brent Flannery. I'm from Virginia Beach. I do support the bill.
Thank you, sir.
I sent emails to many of you. Thank you, Senator, for your
Excellent.
I'm Richard Kennedy. I'm representing a group called LEAP, Law Enforcement Against Prohibition, and we are strongly in support of
Thank you
this
very
bill.
much. Step up.
Lennisworth, Virginians Against Drug Violence, overdose deaths, traffic fatalities, all down
Thank
in
you
the
very
states
much.
that do this. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Pamela Novi. I'm a private citizen from Brandy Station, Virginia, OEF veteran. I have 100 letters here. I've been out talking with middle-aged parents who support this.
You can hand those to one of the pages to the clerk. Thank you very much. Yes, ma'am. Are you all in support over here? No? Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Senator Ebbin. Now those who are in opposition, you get 5 minutes. Roughly.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, my name is Kevin Carroll. I'm the president of the Fraternal Order Police of Virginia. I think that this is, the first bill was a decriminalization bill, and it's been modified. But this is the first step in trying to decriminalize marijuana possession in Virginia. The Fraternal Order Police does not support the decriminalization for many, many, many reasons. I'll start one with, if you look at a recent article out of Colorado, the governor of Colorado himself has said that they made a mistake in decriminalizing marijuana in Colorado. Out of his own words. I know a police officer who works in Aurora, Colorado right now who said it's an absolute nightmare what's happening in Colorado because of the decriminalization. This is the first step that is taken. It starts with medical marijuana, then it starts with let's make it a civil fine, and then it starts with, well, we need to decriminalize it. I watched an interview the other night on Jimmy Kimmel Live with a few people that, needless to say, was bad. The kids in Colorado right now have the highest incidence of use of marijuana than any other state in the country. I want to defer to someone else now.
All right, let's go to the left, if you don't mind. Yes, ma'am, step up.
Good afternoon, Senators. I'm Regina Whitsett, and I'm a member of the Central Virginia Marijuana Prevention Task Force. And I just want to say briefly, I just came back from Colorado. I went to the Colorado Chief of Police Association with 39 states represented in 3 countries and saw firsthand the horrors that are going on out there. And as far as the civil fines are concerned, I just want to say that there are federal reports out there that show when the perception of harm goes up, the usage rate goes up among youth. And in Colorado, there's actually a report called the Rocky Mountain HIDA report from August of 2014 that will give you statistics for traffic fatalities out there and youth usage being up in their high schools. So we definitely oppose this bill.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Hello, my name is William Jones, and I'm actually from the D.C. area. The decriminalization of marijuana here in Virginia concerns me very much, as what has happened in D.C. as well, especially as a minority. We already have more liquor stores on the corners in our community. We have more tobacco advertising towards us. Decriminalization, unfortunately, is the first step in the path towards legalization. If you even go to sites that are for that show how to advocate for legalization, you'll find that decriminalization is the first thing on the checklist. And it's not that I want anyone to go to jail for having a tiny bit of marijuana. That's not the issue here. The issue here is that decriminalization, unfortunately, is the path to marijuana legalization and looser marijuana laws, which are going to devastate youth, as was just mentioned before, which will also devastate minority communities who are already combating higher advertising from drug companies such as alcohol and tobacco. And we need to consider very carefully what is being done with decriminalization and be certain that it does not lead to anything else.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir. We're almost out of time.
Honorable ladies and gentlemen, officials, great assembly in the Virginia Commonwealth. I greet you. I consider an honor to address you concerning Senate Bill 686. I am William Young, an assistant professor at Hampton University. Disclaimer, I'm speaking to represent myself as a proud parent of 6 children, with the youngest being 16. I'm a voter, a black male, an individual educator, and not Hampton University. Being in the business of educating children and adults for more than 40 years, I served from the classroom to several administrative positions in the various systems of education. A general view of you all would be to see you as elected officials who are guardians of health, welfare, and safety of this great Commonwealth. I would like for you to consider the oath for each of you that swore that you were first elected to office. The oath is, I believe, one of the most sacred vows of anyone's life. Honorable ladies and gentlemen of this great assembly, you are the gatekeepers of all the people you represent in the great Commonwealth. I would like to say to you, you are one but many. You hold the distinction of being the trust of the citizens which you represent. Therefore, the truth in regard to marijuana is needed to make an educated decision about what the national government costs in an illicit drug. Now, let me see if I understand the essence of the bill itself. The average drug can raise up to 6 plants for personal use. A person called marijuana is punished and charged for felony, is now it becomes a
I
misdemeanor.
hate to interrupt you, but we're out of time.
Okay,
And we've all read the bill and appreciate the input. And I'm going to hear one more witness before I allow people to introduce themselves. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, ma'am. He's against. These are opponents of the bill. Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon. My name is Rachel Honey, and I'm currently a senior at Liberty University studying minority health and disparities. One of the entities of minority health and disparities is drugs, and some will argue that the war on drugs is the war on race. And I will agree to an extent, but because the minorities are affected mostly by drug laws. But reading this bill, I can't help but potentially feel that this will affect my future as a minority female. I'm going to be extremely fast because I know I really don't have the time, but by decriminalizing marijuana, we put our youth at risk for becoming more in contact with gang violence and drug fatalities. How many of us in our community will now choose drugs over education, becoming doctors and lawyers? I'm livid because you do not mute a community by creating bills that slap the wrist of people for messing up their futures. I'm just asking the General Assembly to reconsider this bill and to take the time to fix this problem in other ways.
Thank you for being here. And you all would step up and introduce yourself. And
I'm Chief Branch from Virginia Community College Police Department. I'm here on behalf of Virginia's Campus Chiefs Association, and we are in opposition.
Thank you very much.
Chairman Wayne Huggins, State Police Association, we strongly oppose this bill.
Thank you very much. Commonwealth Attorney, State Police.
Chairman Mike Busek, for the City of Lynchburg, Virginia Association of Attorneys opposed the bill.
Thank you. State Police position.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Tom Bradshaw, State Police, we have the same concerns as you do.
And opposed the bill? All right, thank you very much. Bills before us.
Mr. Chairman, just a comment. Looking down this roster, I was the only one, maybe the only one in the room, but was here in the late 70s when we voted to essentially decriminalize less than a half ounce of marijuana, which passed through both houses and got signed by Governor Dalton. Okay? And it was less than a half ounce, I think. But I remember people coming in, just as some of the people who were opposed to this today, saying, you passed this, and it's essentially it was going to be the end of Western civilization if we didn't, if we went ahead and passed that. Well, it's been 35 years since then. Civilization, at least in Virginia, is still alive and kicking and doing just fine. This doesn't legalize marijuana. One of the problems that we're going to be facing in Northern Virginia, anyway, is the people who can access this in Maryland, and I guess in D.C., although that's somewhat up in the air. And then they come across that 14th Street Bridge or the Woodrow Wilson Bridge or Memorial Bridge, and all of a sudden they're now in felony territory, and therein lies the problem. So you know, I don't have any problem with this, and at the proper time, no one else will, I'll make the motion to report it.
Second.
Those motions are made, and this is the proper time, so motions are made and seconded.
Substitute motion, Mr. President, I move it pass by indefinitely, and I continue to be on the side of the Commonwealth attorneys and the state police on this issue.
All right, substitute motion is to pass the bill by indefinitely.
Mr. Chairman, speaking to the motion.
Sarah?
We understand the bill.
And second.
Basically, it just changes what is now a misdemeanor with maximum 30 days in jail and a $500 fine, and there's also license administrative matters. With the misdemeanor, 30 days in jail, $500 fine, the civil penalty of $100. That's basically it. So it doesn't do a whole lot. So it makes it a civil penalty, not a misdemeanor.
That's correct. All right. All in favor of the motion to pass the bill by indefinitely signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed?
No.
Call the roll.
Senator Zaslow. PBI, motion is PBI. Senator Howell.
No.
Senator Edwards.
No.
Senator Fuller.
No.
Senator McDougal. Senator McEachin.
No.
Senator Stewart. Senator Vogel. Senator Stanley. Senator Reeves by proxy.
Yes.
Senator Garrett.
Yes.
Senator Chapin.
Yes.
Senator Norment. And Mr. Chairman.
Aye. Bill's passed by
Aye.
Thank you for the courtesy of the extended time. I will present the next bill in less than 4 sentences, if I might.
Go right ahead.
Okay, SB 682 to remove the prohibitions against civil unions and domestic partnerships and marriage between people of the same gender. If passed, this would bring clarity and accuracy to the code and reflect the state law in 2015.
All right. Any questions of patron?
Move to report.
Second.
All right. It's been a motion to report that has been properly seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Bill fails to report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Secretary.